Hey guys, hope you're having a good night. So I just wanted to do a reading. I've been feeling like really pulled to do a reading for the last hour. So I wanted to just come on here and talk to you guys. But I did get a message from Spirit to give to you guys, which is about going with the flow and allowing cycles to be what they are and stop trying to control them. So kind of the message I was getting was some of you guys are not allowing things to naturally shift and happen. You're trying to control them so they can stay the same as the way you want them to stay, but it's not really helpful. If you start paying attention, you'll notice the patterns that we go through long cycles, like starting in our childhood until a certain time in our adult life where we end and heal those cycles. And there's a bunch of cycles in there in relationships, but then there's also our own individual cycles of healing, which a lot of us have been in the last few years. And those usually they're years long, but there's mini sub-cycles in them. And those are usually between 3 and 7 days long. So if you notice your sleeping patterns will change every 3 to 7 days. Your eating patterns, what you're craving, if you're hungry or not hungry, your energy levels. I notice for me, I don't know if other people go through this, but I notice for me is I'll go through these patterns where I'm purging certain things that all have the same common core of them, even if it's different relationships or old stuff, we'll say me not feeling enough, so things related to me not feeling enough, and then communication issues and different things like that. But it lasts usually 3 to 7 day time periods with those. And I noticed then we'll go through shifts where we're doing childhood trauma stuff, or we'll do kind of stuff that's going on now where we're getting really triggered. We're walking around in our ego. We're seeing things from a different perspective, below the surface. Then we're seeing where we still have blockages and fears in our life. And these things happen every, I said, 3 to 7 days for most people, where we're going through these mini kind of cycles and lessons and stuff. And sometimes they're a lot harder and heavier, and sometimes they're not. I know for me, I also go through the physical energy symptom stuff with the fear stuff as I'm doing collective healing and transmutation for people. And even my own energy where my intuition, I'm just getting download after download after download for myself or other people. And then when I speak, I can feel the truth of things and I just automatically speak. And then it shifts sometimes where I actually feel completely disconnected from myself. I feel not as intuitive or not able to just readily access the information and get it too. And it just shifts again, like I said, every 3 to 7 days. But what's happening is some of you guys are not flowing with those shifts. So if you notice too, this pattern is one thing happens, a bunch of other things happen all simultaneously. One thing breaks, another thing fucks up, and all of it, whether it's in a day or within a few weeks, right? There are certain lessons you're going through. There's certain things that are coming up. There's certain energy that you're transmuting and you're shifting and stuff like that. And the big message from Spirit is to let things flow. Stop trying to control them. Stop trying to get them to stay the same, because you one energy, one cycle, one whatever, where you feel comfortable. Let yourself naturally shift through them, even when you're feeling afraid. Then sit with your shit of why am I feeling afraid, and go into your emotions and see what it is teaching you, how it is helping you. Also remind yourself that this cycle is not going to last. It only lasts usually a few days. And in a few days, you're going to feel something totally fucking different. Hopefully it's better or more comfortable. But honestly, I've learned over the last year or so to sit in the discomfort, and I appreciate the discomfort a lot more than I used to, because I know that when I'm uncomfortable and things are unclear, that within a few days, I'm just going to have an abundance of epiphanies and all this energy come up, and it's going to show me something that I've been stuck with, that I've been afraid of, that's been blocking me and making me feel heavy. And it's almost like this nice energetic release. So let things flow. And you'll feel better. Yes, things are going to be difficult at times, and you're going to still feel all the emotions that we're supposed to feel. Stop trying to force yourself to feel certain things, and stop trying to force things to happen in your life. They're never going to work that way. And if you're doing that, there's an issue of you feeling not safe in control, which I feel like I've been talking to people about this week. This feels like the mini cycle we're in right now of feeling unsafe, seeing areas where we don't feel safe, seeing what we actually need from ourselves or other people, whether it's, certain behavior, certain words, certain things like that. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you something. So here's what I realized for me, and I hope this helps somebody. I have very good intuition. I feel future energy for stuff, and present energy and stuff too, past stuff, but like I do actually feel future stuff a lot of times too. So I can feel if something is truth or not when it's being spoken or expressed or whatever. And what I realized is why I keep having all this conflict over the last few years is because behaviors, words, and my intuition are not being aligned. And it's not me, obviously, because I make sure like all that shit aligns with me, which is why like my internal energy is good. But when it relates to other people, when all those things are not, when somebody's behaviors and their words are not aligned with what my intuition is, it creates this internal conflict of struggle for me. And I just realized it the other day of this is why I don't feel safe. So what it made me realize is, okay, so now I need, when this type of stuff comes up, what I need to do for myself is reflect when I'm feeling that like dissonance in my body with somebody of why am I feeling unsafe? What is being said or done that's not like in alignment and it's not, you know, balanced, essentially balanced. And I need to either like, it's either from my awareness or it's, I need to set boundaries or I need to have a conversation or whatever it is. But I feel like a lot of people this week or so are going through these areas where they don't feel safe. They're purging fears, different ones than you probably have, or they're more specific. You might be having dreams where like the dreams feel a little chaotic and all over the place. They feel very realistic, but like a little chaotic and all over the place. And if you actually interpret them, it's probably related to your subconscious fears. I feel like a lot of us are in the subconscious mind, which funny enough, I just, I got 2 decks. Like if you guys are on my crystal page, I got in like 20 something decks, for the shop, which these are in the shop and on the website, but I kept these 2 for myself and I'm going to pull cards from them. But I feel like the subconscious and unconscious mind is becoming more clear to people lately and seeing like our internal motivations, and we're kind of fine tuning what it is that we want. We're also seeing like those subconscious patterns, those subconscious belief systems we have, stuff like that. So it's important to sit with your stuff and see like what is going on with you and why, and how to interpret your dreams. Cause I got like somebody wants to know that. Okay. This is what I do. I feel like do it, obviously, whatever your intuition says, but if you're not sure, I'll just give you this and see what works and then do it your own way. So for me, like the way I interpret my dreams is like, what are the significant things standing out, or what are like the strong emotions in it, right? And the people that are in it, whatever it is, and how do they make me feel? What is like the underlying emotion there? And if there's like other stuff going on, I kind of go deeper and I'm like, okay, what does this symbolize to me? Like when I think of this, so like snakes, I feel like are a good one for people. So what does snakes signify to you? So for me, they're fear, but they're also new beginnings. To me, it's like shedding the old and like becoming the new, right? Like we're getting rid of the old that we don't need, that doesn't work for us, like this snake shedding the skin, becoming the new. But it's also to me like a shadow energy and a fear energy. Now to other people, it might be completely different. So if you have a snake in your dream, you see, what does a snake symbolize to me? And you apply it to whatever's kind of going on in the dream and the emotions that are attached in that dream, or the people, or the situation, and kind of see what it is and what it's saying to you. Meditation escapism. Didn't come out, but it popped. So let's see. I have not used this deck. I just like opened it literally last night. So let's see. We got planning and destiny. This card definitely wants to come out. Meditation and escapism. I should have known. I could feel it. Like, I was like, I knew I should have pulled it, but whatever. If it's meant to come out, it always comes back out. Shadow and light. With self-doubt and hope, which is funny because I just did like a quick Instagram video like a little while ago. And we got the hope card on the bottom, and it felt like a lot of people were really in, like losing hope, like losing kind of faith in things because they haven't happened yet and you've been waiting for so long, or it feels like you've never gotten what you've wanted and you've been waiting literally your whole fucking life to have what you see other people having and stuff like that. And it is more so like to learn patience, but it's also, I feel like that goes back to the first message too, which is not controlling things, like allowing your life to flow the way it's supposed to flow. And you want what you want, but you also don't know what you need to learn. You also don't know what tools you need to pick up. You know, it's like somebody trying to build a house and they don't really know what tools they need to pick up from the store. So it's like allowing somebody who knows what they're doing to guide you. And it's like, you might not be able to see the progress. You might not be able to see how it's being built, but you're building your home within, you're building the stability within, you're getting the tools you need for the next step for your soul purpose. So it all has a purpose. You just don't understand it right now, or you might not understand the full thing, but you have hopefully enough clarity to know that like whatever's happening is happening for your good and to help you with healing something or learning something or growing. And it's going to benefit you in the long run. It's going to help bring you to where you need to be. So yeah, we got the reflection, overthinking with the self-doubt and hope underneath it. We got the word indulgence on that one popped out, and it feels like some of you guys are seeing where you put energy into trauma patterns. And if you're not in this energy right now, Spirit just told me to tell you to save this video, and you'll intuitively know when to watch it later on. So if you're in a trauma pattern, it's something that happened to you from usually childhood, but not always. Something that happened to you in the past that is unhealed, and you're subconsciously repeating this cycle over and over and over and over again. And you don't even realize you're doing it, but it makes you feel whatever you felt in the past, and you're trying to heal it, but you're not changing your behavior and you're not disrupting the cycle. You're staying in the cycle. So for some of you, it feels like you keep like indulging in these like self-sabotaging behaviors. And this just popped in too, which I saw this is not from me. I saw it on Instagram like months ago. I just can't remember who posted it, but they were saying something about self-sabotage isn't what we think it is. It's we like the ego, inner child, whatever we want to call it, likes familiarity. So it's we want to stay in the familiar and the known. So we're not sabotaging out of hating ourselves, kind of like we're told like that we don't love ourselves and shit like that. It's because we're actually trying to stay safe. And the way most of us feel safe is by the familiar. So if you notice, as I just said that, I'm like, okay, that relates to exactly what I said earlier in the beginning of the message. You have to work through that. Like you have to literally work through, you know, staying in your comfort zone, because your comfort zone becomes very uncomfortable and it becomes very painful and it becomes very stuck. And when you're not allowing things to flow, like think about like, you know, a pot of water, or like think about like, you know, like a freaking, like a river, and there's a dam and like the water is trying to go through. It's just going to keep pushing and it's going to break everything. You know, a pot of water, if you have the lid on it and you just keep containing it, it's either going to dry out and it's going to fuck, you know, like the water is going to be completely gone and it's going to like expand and explode. You know what I'm saying? It's going to explode, going to catch on fire, whatever is going to happen. Like it's not going to be good. It's going to combust in some way, right? So that's like what a lot of you guys are doing. Instead of letting it flow, you're resisting and you're sticking a wall up and you're shoving it back down, which is not really beneficial, helpful. And you're thinking you know the best way. But what you're doing is you're repeating a trauma cycle of doing it the way you learned and not the way that's actually best for you. And it feels like some of you guys don't even know you're in that. So with the reflection, overthinking, and the self-doubt, hope, this feels like you guys needing to actually see what's going on. So when you're overthinking and you have a lot of thoughts coming up and you're feeling very anxious, calm your body down, your energy down, like deep breathe, like sniffing like lavender essential oils, really good. Peppermint's actually really calming to me. I don't know, I love it. You know, rub your arm, give yourself a hug, like whatever you need to calm down, like calm your energy down. And then process what's coming up. What am I thinking about? Why am I thinking about this? What is this from? Like start asking yourself questions, like naturally start asking yourself questions. You know, if you're just starting out, you can feel into your body physically. Like, what does my body feel like? Okay, it feels like tense, or it feels painful, or it feels, you know, heavy, or it feels like anxious. It feels like jittery, it feels overactive or overstimulated. And, you know, kind of feel into that and then go into, okay, like what are my emotions? Like I'm feeling scared right now. I'm feeling nervous. Okay, why am I feeling scared and nervous? Like what is going on? What am I worried about? Well, I'm worried that this is going to happen like this. Okay, but why am I worried about this? And when you start going into it, you're going to realize that there's no actual logical reasoning for it. And there's no intuition and there's no evidence to support what you're worried about. So then you go into, okay, well now I can see that. So what is going on with this? And most often it relates to something that happened in the past or something you saw with somebody else. And that's what you're feeling in this present moment. So when you can recognize it, a lot of times just the recognition of it and feeling it helps it release. If it doesn't and you really can't get out of it, you can ask yourself, okay, so what are the other possibilities in this situation? Because if I'm thinking it's exactly this, but there's no evidence or intuition to support this, then what else could it also be? And learning how to calm it down. But I feel like a lot of times we should process those feelings and we should process those thoughts because they're trying to tell us something. You know, it's like the check engine light in your car, it's flashing. We don't ignore it. We pay attention to it. It's showing us that there's a problem or showing us there's something we need to pay attention to. The same with your thoughts. When you're overthinking, it's because there's some type of energy coming up that's trying to resolve itself. So it feels like a lot of you, this is what's going on. And for some of you, it feels like kind of what I said earlier with that Instagram reading is like, you're losing hope, and the self-doubt part feels like definitely really relative to you guys. It feels almost just like this energy where you're not really sure about your decision making. You're not sure about your intuition, your decision making, what choices to make. Some of you also relates to like relationships and your behaviors. And it feels like a lot of like self-reflection is needed for you to understand what your own individual thing is, like what is going on with you specifically to help you move past this. But I'm going to give you the same message I posted on the reading earlier, which Spirit just told me, is give it time and be patient. Like if you don't have the answer, ask Spirit or ask yourself, whatever, however you want to ask and wait for the answer. You're going to get the answer. Just, you have to be patient. It will happen at the right time. If you don't want to be patient, don't be patient, but like, then you're just going to make yourself miserable. So like those type of things, it's good to just try to let them go and not keep focusing on them because it's not going to help you if you don't have clarity on it. You will get the clarity. Like, trust me, like you're not going to be forgotten. Like it will come at the right time. Okay. The planning destiny, the meditation escapism. Damn, that really does have strong as energy. I told you it popped before and I should have taken it. And then we got shadow and light. So this feels like it has to do with your guys' future. It feels like some of you guys are trying to figure out like what your soul purpose is. You might not be trying to figure out what your soul purpose is. You're working toward your soul purpose, but you might like the big one. But it feels like you're not really sure kind of what to do for what you're wanting, like the future. And I forgot if I said this or not, but I got this more recently that collectively a lot of us are working on this, fine-tuning what it is we desire and seeing what we desire without all the fears and other stuff in the way, but also seeing where we don't feel safe to receive it right now, or where our blockages are still, and what we need to see or what we need to hear or what we need to happen in order for us to feel safe to be able to accept and receive this. So it feels like as that's coming up, a lot of the old fears are coming up, like the self-doubt, things that, like I said before, like the subconscious stuff is kind of coming up. With this meditation escapism, it actually feels like this conflicting energy where some of you guys like kind of want to know what you're feeling at a deeper level, like you're wanting to go into it, but it almost feels like this inner child fear of actually facing the truth. It feels like some of you guys are afraid of facing your emotions and deeper feelings. Like you think that you're going to see something about yourself or feel something painful, and like instead of going into it and just trusting you're going to be okay and safe, even if you're temporarily uncomfortable, like you're trying to just avoid it. You're trying to like just avoid it in some way. However, you're trying to escape in your own way, you're trying to avoid and distract from it. But in order for your light to grow, you have to face the shadows. Like you have to go into them and feel into them and understand them. So think about how you felt as a kid. Did you feel very seen? Did you feel very understood? Did you feel very heard? And I feel like most people are going to say no, because I feel like most of us who probably are on this page have like at least a similar history where we had somewhat shitty childhoods, or we had parents who kind of sucked or whatever, okay? And I don't even want to get into all that, but like, yeah, if it relates, it relates. When you didn't feel seen, when you didn't feel heard, when you didn't feel acknowledged, people were taught to suppress it, and we usually internalize it in some way to mean something about ourselves. And Spirit's saying this is part of that subconscious stuff I was talking about earlier. When we identified, we made this our identity, and we don't even realize that we made it our identity, we're behaving and perceiving out of it. That's why I call it a trauma lens, because you're seeing it through your trauma, not how it actually is. That's why you can have 2 or 3 people in the same conversation, and 2 people are going to see it one way, one person's going to see it another way. Then it's going to be like a 4th person could come in and see it a completely different way, because we're seeing it through our own perception, and we're interpreting it through what we've already experienced and what we've already seen. So in order for you to get out of that, you have to be aware of what the trauma is, for you to be able to see that that is what is guiding you to see things in a certain way. And it feels like the people whose parents did not see them or did not hear them or pay attention to them in that way, they learn to avoid their emotions and they learn to distract from them. So basically what's kind of going on in that like discomfort is because that little kid in you is wanting to be seen and heard. Think about being a little kid and like just wanting to be seen and heard, and you probably felt so much pain and you felt so alone and you just wanted to cry, and it emotionally and physically can hurt you. And that's what's like dying to come out. So when you're avoiding it, you're avoiding you as a little kid, and you're basically repeating that same cycle of what your parents did to you. So it's important for you to go in there and just feel it. Like, yeah, it might be uncomfortable for like a little bit, but you're going to feel fine after a little while. Like, you know, no emotion stays like forever. Like they always are shifting and stuff. So just try to like, go into it. And if you feel uncomfortable, you know, say a prayer or ask, you know, whoever you talk to, whoever you pray to, just ask them to help you to feel safe going into it. Like, I will say this, like a few years ago, when I started going through this stuff really heavy, I would just be like, can you guys give me a hug? Like I would just like ask my angels, I'm like, can you guys just give me a hug? And I swear it felt like I was just being hugged by like, just like this like loving energy for like 10 minutes. Like, so you can always ask them for, you know, help. You can ask them to help you feel safe and feel better. Is that it? Oh, shit. Okay. Good energy. Dude, there's something with love, because I'm telling you, like I saw the Harmony card in the other reading, and then like I pulled the 2 cards up and the Harmony card was there again. And this is 2 of Raphael, which is like the same thing as the Harmony card. 2 hearts dedicated to creating something wonderful. Kindred spirits, don't give up on those you love. All right, I'm not interpreting that one or channeling that. That feels like you got what you needed to hear. Okay, damn, do we have some divine masculine and divine feminine energy right here. Woo. Look at that king. Look at that. Look at that king and that beautiful ass angel. So we have the star card, Archangel Jophiel, a dream come true, believe in yourself, the end of a difficult situation, with the king of Raphael. Yes, it is safe to trust. The ability to accomplish many things at once. Follow your creative passions. Okay, I love how there's both water energy. The cards are super fucking balanced in both of these. Like, this is like great energy. It just feels very balanced. It feels very solid. It feels like you have your intuition and your stability, and like it's just very grounded and very balanced. And I love how we have the dolphins again, because I feel like that is a message that's been coming up a lot lately with like the dolphins. I think the one card just said like, don't worry, be happy or something, the dolphins. And then I think it came out another time too with the dolphins. I can't remember. But to me, a lot of times dolphins are like the communication. I know when I was channeling, I got communication, like babies, things like that. So with the star card, this just kind of feels like that hope energy, like what you want is going to come true, like that wish upon a star, a dream. I mean, it literally says a dream come true. Believe in yourself. So the people who are doubting yourself, believe in yourself. What you want is coming. The end of a difficult situation, like you're healing and closing out like cycles. Yes, you're still closing some of them out. I told you some of them last for a long time, but think about the cycles you're in and where it actually brings you to what you need to be doing or where you're going to be going. Now, I shouldn't say need to be doing, what you want to be doing and where you're going to be going. With this King of Raphael, it feels like this energy of power, like it feels like this energy of empowerment. And it feels like when you get into this energy, things are going to just be resolved. Things are going to be like more magical feeling, like just exciting energy for you. And they're just going to be like really solid. They might be like emotional because you're actually like getting what you want. Ooh, damn. Hold on. Damn, that hit me really hard. I just like my eyes just went to yes, it's safe to trust. And as soon as I read that, I got this energy. Like some of you guys have had intuitive messages about things and spirit saying like, yeah, trust them. Like, why are you not trusting them? Like, you know what you're feeling is true. And as I like felt the energy from that and they gave me the message, I got all this energy like in my chest, like it's like sitting in my heart chakra. That's why I was like, let me breathe it out really quick. And it feels like you guys have, it's something heart-centered, whether some of you it definitely is a relationship. It feels like a lot of you, it might be related to a relationship. In some capacity, but like it is safe for you to trust your intuition. It is safe for you to trust that what you desire and what you want will come. Okay, so I'm gonna do the Naughty Oracle because I feel like this reading was so serious, which obviously we needed, but this is one of the new decks. I haven't used it either. I just opened it last night. So we're going to pull some messages from here. They're like not, I don't want to say bitchy because that's the wrong word. They're like spicy, zesty, like a little zest in them. Yeah, okay. I was going to put them. I wanted to pull this card too. Time for emotional healing. All right. There we go. Sometimes cards are literal as fuck. All right, we got shitful shadow side. Balance your good, bad, and ugly. Definitely there is, and I love it. They're like literally shooting at like hearts like for a toilet. I like that they curse in them too. It's definitely like this energy of it feels like this light illuminating on the shadows where you don't feel good about yourself, and like you're going to be understanding why you have been feeling like shit about yourself. Like you're going to be getting clarity. Like a lot of solar plexus chakra and sacral chakra stuff's going on right now. God damn, is the shame, guilt energy shit like in that sacral really fucking like extra. Okay, I was gonna say something, but they kind of like stopped me from saying it. Okay, anyway, for a lot of you, especially the masculines, but for a lot of people in general, or whoever's watching this, you're going to start getting clarity and understand why you feel like shit about yourself. Things that you don't like about yourself, you're going to see where those thoughts and feelings originated from. Like for some of you, I'm just going to give you an example. For some of you, it's like a childhood wound. So it started with a parent and then your friends, and then your friends did stuff that made you feel it even more. And then your relationships, and then like movies you've seen or TV shows or podcasts or things like that have continued this cycle for you to feel like this. So you're going to start seeing why you feel like shit about yourself. And then afterward, you're going to have some type of, it might not be directly afterward, it might be like a few hours to a few days. You're going to have some type of clarity, some type of message, some type of epiphany is going to come in some capacity. Leave that open to interpretation because it can come in for you in a different way than somebody else. And it's going to help you let go of these heavy feelings about yourself for good and learn to love and accept yourself the way you are and stop trying to change yourself and thinking there's a problem with you. That's not a fucking problem. So that's what this feels like, and it's going to bring you balance, and it's going to help you feel more confident in yourself and more confident in your decision making. And whenever that shifts, it feels like it's going to open you up, where it's going to just kind of like push you to do what you want to do that you've been kind of afraid or doubting yourself about. The next one we got Luna Sister. Remove all negative energy imprints. This definitely feels like that shadow energy and really just facing those emotions and like getting out of those trauma cycles. Negative energy imprints, getting out of trauma cycles. And the last but not least, it's a shit show. Become aware. All these cards are not shit ones. We just happen to get the shit ones today. It's a shit show. Become aware. So I feel like that's kind of the theme too, is like becoming aware of your stuff, reflection, going within and kind of seeing where those feelings are, like the subconscious patterns, where like things originated, where things started, and healing them. But I get this like stuff with letting things flow, stop trying to control things, let things flow, and be patient. The process is helping you, even if it doesn't feel like that. Oh my God. Like, okay, it's a foot, but I honestly thought it was a dick. Like hanging down, but it's like a foot. But it is like the naughty oracle, so it's not like, oh, that's surprising. I'm going to show you. It's like right here. It's not all that surprising. I thought it was a dick. It's the naughty oracle, guys. Anyway. I kind of want to pull one more card. Okay. No. Lily. Not from here. We're going to pull from Mystical or Angels. Mystical it is. Okay. Lily. Come here. Lily. Lily, Lily. Lily. I don't know why she does that randomly. She just starts meowing and wants attention. Okay. Can I get like 1 or 2 or 3 from here? And this is going to be the final message of what we need to know. Lily, come here. Saw the kids card in here. Didn't come out though. I like this deck. It just hurts my hands. Animal bond. Stand up for animals. I love how Lily started meowing. And then we got the animal card. Friendship. Nurture your relationships. This is a really pretty card. There's a ton of butterflies. And leadership. Set your goals. Provider of healing for mind, body, and spirit, Archangel Raphael. Actually, if you guys are feeling like you need healing, I love you guys. If you guys are feeling like you need healing, you can actually call on Archangel Raphael to help you. Can come in as a feminine or masculine energy, depending on what you relate to and what you need. The leadership, set your goals. Well, welcome to Leo season, because we're in Leo season right now, which is the season of the lion. This card to me is all about like empowerment and your confidence. Standing in your power and being confident. This message I feel like is a message I actually keep giving to people in my shop about being yourself. Like when you're a leader or when you're a person who's helping other people, and this feels like it relates to your relationships and it feels like it relates to the rest of these cards. So I'm just going to kind of say it together. When you're trying to be a leader, not trying to be a leader. If you're a leader or you're a teacher or you're like a light worker, Lily, come here. You're a light worker. You're going to naturally teach people and you're going to naturally lead. The thing that most people don't realize is you don't have to tell people what to do, and you should never try to force stuff onto people. By you being you and standing in your power, you're naturally teaching people it's okay for them to do the same. And this is kind of relates to that message I was saying with the safety and stuff like that. And that I actually realized earlier with somebody I was helping, and I gave her a message, and then it made me realize something with myself, which is if you ever meet people that sometimes they have really good advice, but you don't listen to them, here's why you don't listen to them, because everything's not aligning with it. So at a subconscious soul level, we feel energy and we feel truth. And at a logical human ego mind level, we hear information, we go through reasoning and, all that stuff, right? Then we have like our intuition. It's all, but we're going to use it as like 2 different things today. Okay. So when somebody's giving you great information, but energetically you're feeling like this person doesn't take their own advice or this person hasn't healed this, you're going to not trust them, because there's going to be something within your internal energy, your soul or your intuition, that's going to make you not fully trust or feel safe with that information. Versus when you meet somebody that their words match what they've already healed and their energy aligns with that, that is why you feel safe and trust people in that capacity, where you can just meet somebody and you can just know that they're safe and you can trust their messages and you can trust their words. And it's because energetically they've healed it. Everything that they're saying to you is something that they've already done, and they have confidence and stability within themselves. So all of those things are matching up and aligning. So your soul, intuition, whatever, is feeling the energy of the truth of it. And your mind is also able to catch it too and is balanced. And that's why they absorb the energy and they trust. It also helps them to receive energy and open it up. But you need all those factors in order to do that. When you're trying to help people, though, like I said, it's not you preaching to people and pushing to people. It's you just speaking your truth. And naturally, if you just speak your truth, you're going to help the people that need that energy. They're going to be drawn to your messages. They're going to be drawn to wherever you are. You're going to speak it in the way you need to, sometimes not even consciously realizing it. And they're going to receive the information they need. Sometimes it clicks for them in the moment. Sometimes the seed is planted and it will pop up, like fucking few days, few weeks, few hours, few years later. But it's still going to pop up whenever it's supposed to. You just don't know when that person needs to actually have that energy come up for them and that message kind of come up for them. So for the people who want to help people or who are actively trying to help people, the only way to do it is work on helping yourself. And when you're in that stability energy, you're naturally helping people. Stop trying to help people in the way you think you should help people. Help people in the way that your energy flows. Because we help people in different ways in different areas. But if you're trying to help people in a certain way and you're trying to force it on them or you're trying to push it on them, that means that you are needing to heal that within yourself. And you're also, when you're doing that and you're taking responsibility for other people's emotions and trying to fix them, you have a codependency wound that needs to heal, where you're taking responsibility for fixing somebody, which means that was either put on you as a child and or it's something that you still need to heal with you, and you're subconsciously in a trauma cycle trying to heal that within somebody else, thinking that it's going to heal you. But what you don't realize is, if you have a wound, but you're putting the Band-Aid on somebody else, is not helping heal this wound. It's not covering this up. And that's what people are subconsciously doing. And that's what I mean, the trauma cycle that we don't even know we're in. So I feel like that resonated with somebody, and then they just started laughing like, oh shit, okay, touche, bitch. So anyway, all right. Well, I hope that this reading helped you guys, and I hope you guys all have an awesome night.